Hey guys, and welcome back to the latest vlog. Something I wanted to talk to y'all about today was the importance of protecting your team from a bad client. I think back to all the times I've had to deal with customers who are angry just for the sake of being angry. Whether it was at a job at a restaurant or at a print shop or whatever it was. Time and time again, the business owner or your boss would just kind of throw you under the bus and just say, "Hey, the customer's always right, and this is your fault, so you figure it out, you deal with it." And I just remember how bad I felt dealing with something that most of the time was kind of outside of my control. And so I want to talk about being a small business owner and having a team now. And my mentality is, under the right circumstances, it's okay to fire a client. I've said that to a few people, probably in the last week or so, who have just kind of been blown away. Like, oh, what? Fire a client? I've never heard that before. But let's talk about that. There are customers out there who, maybe they had a bad experience with a different company before, or they just come into it expecting the worst. And nothing you can do is going to make them happy, and everything you try to do, it's never good enough. And sometimes they become kind of, aggressive or abusive or anything in that. And as a team leader, as a business owner, you have to realize that it's okay to make the decision to no longer work with that customer. You have to think about what's best for your team. If your team members are spending a ton of time being yelled at, they're not going to spend a ton of time working for you in the future. So you have to be protective of them. You have to make sure you've got their back. Now, I'm not saying that every customer that doesn't work out, or maybe they're not 100% easy, you just say, "We're not working together anymore." That's 100% the opposite of what I'm trying to say. What I am trying to say is that you should understand that there is a time and a place when the customer is not always right, and it is okay to accept that you're not going to be able to provide any value for them, because whatever you do is not going to be good enough, or whatever it is. We had a situation a few weeks ago where we were finished with the job. I mean, virtually finished with the project. There was a few small things that weren't really even in the scope of original work. We had just kind of thrown it at last minute, trying to correct a problem that was wrong from the get-go, which was a big mistake on my part. I should have known that we shouldn't have even touched the project, because it was a mess from the start. And like I said, we were pretty much finished with the job. There was a couple lingering things that kept popping up that weren't getting. We would try to fix it and it would revert back, or something else would break, or it was for a website that we didn't build. And their operations manager got on the phone with me after weeks of saying that she demanded to speak directly to somebody on my team, and I said, "No, you're not going to do that. You can speak with me, and I'll speak with my team members." Because I knew that all she wanted to do was scream at somebody, and I'm not going to let that happen to one of the guys or one of the girls on the team. So I said, "Well, let's speak on the phone, and we'll talk and see what's going on." And the client proceeded to just yell and scream and blame me, and call us worthless, and I could have done all this on my own, and blah blah blah. Which, okay, well, things happen. The job didn't quite work out. We had no business taking the project on in the first place. We were trying to help out, help them out, and it was the wrong decision on my part. I should have known better. Just to say we can't do this and have walked away early on, but as this person proceeded to just yell and scream and raise her voice and speak to me like I'm an idiot again, and I knew all this was coming, which is why I wouldn't let her speak to somebody else on my team, because they don't need to deal with that. So I let her kind of get her thing out, and then I stopped the conversation and I said, "I'll tell you what. You've only paid the deposit, so there's still a large chunk of cash that hasn't been paid out, even though the job's almost done. I want you to keep that money, and we're gonna end the project and go our separate ways now. So you can use that money to find another company to work with moving forward. The person did not like it. They decided to use the opportunity to yell at me some more, and I let her do it. And then I said, okay, well, good luck moving forward. I wish you the best. And I hung up the phone. And it's okay to handle that situation like that. It's okay to say, hey, you know what? Clearly we're not bringing you value. I would suggest we try to find somebody that will. And then I sent the CEO a message that said, hey, we're not going to be able to work together moving forward on this. Unfortunately, sorry it didn't work out. I'll continue. It was a nonprofit, so I'll continue to support your organization as I can through connections we had made for them. But it is what it is. So, and it wasn't fun, and it wasn't easy, and I felt like crap afterwards, and it shouldn't be easy to do that, but it was the right call. It was something we were spinning our wheels to make somebody that was never going to be happy. It just wasn't going to happen. And so I had to look at it like this. Okay, so there was, $1,200 or $1,500 or whatever was left on the table for this job. We can either keep kind of repeating this pattern of of trying to fix something that was broken and it's not fixing and it's still broken and no one wins and everyone just gets more and more frustrated. We keep doing that and get nowhere, and not be able to contribute the time necessary to the other projects that we have ongoing, because we don't have just one client. We have, at any given time we could have 10 to 15 jobs or projects going on. So you have to kind of sit as a business owner and think about the ROI of a client. Business owners think all the time about, the ROI of this marketing plan, or the ROI of this SEO, or the ROI of hiring another person. But a lot of times we don't think about the ROI of a customer, right? And you really do. You have to consider that. If you're losing a lot of potential income on other projects because this one particular project is being an issue, being a problem, being combative, sometimes you have to make the decision to take the loss. You have to realize, and they may very well come back and give you a bad review on Google, or blah blah blah, this or that or that. But that's part of it. It is what it is. You can't control what someone's going to do. We could have finished the job and still gotten a bad review. So, you kind of have to think about a lot of that stuff, and it's not easy. It's not easy to think about that. It's not easy to consider all those things in a moment, but you have to kind of take yourself out of the equation emotionally. You can't make a decision emotionally. You have to take yourself out of that equation and really just think about what's best for your team, what's best for your other clients, and what's best for you moving forward. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. Like I said, I think a lot of business owners, small businesses specifically, they don't even think about the fact that, you can terminate a relationship with a client. You can fire a client. So I wanted to talk about that because I don't think it was discussed very much. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. If you've got stories about situations that didn't work out and how you handled that, I'd love to hear them. You can find us on Facebook, Metro Nova Creative. My Instagram handle is Dan from Metro Nova Creative. Take a look at some of our work on metronovacreative.com. Thanks for checking in. And as usual, be kind, be great, be well, be decent. Take care, guys. Bye.